Would you like to get approved quickly and easily for a small business loan? Well, I'm about to reveal to you how you can get a small business loan even as a startup, even if you don't have collateral, even if you have credit issues, or how to get phenomenal terms on small business loans if you're a really well-established, low-risk business. I'm going to show you where to go to get financing that most entrepreneurs know nothing about. I'm going to show you how to get SBA financing with terms most business owners absolutely dream of having. I'm going to show you how to get approved and qualify even if you don't think that you can get a loan or credit line now. I'm going to reveal to you over 10 ways you can get financing for your business. And along the way, I'm going to sprinkle in some of my best tips to get you the most money at the best terms. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to get you access to our funding vault of 27 ways to get money for your business. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump in and get started. If you're looking to get a small business loan, you need to understand the 3C cash acquisition formula. So this formula makes it really easy for you to understand exactly what it takes to get a business loan for your company. So we call this the 3C cash acquisition formula because there's 3 different ways you can actually qualify for financing. The first is based on your cash flow. If your business has consistent cash flow, there's a good chance you can qualify for a lot of different cash flow funding options. If you have good personal credit or even established business credit, that can qualify you for financing as well. And the third C is collateral. If you have an asset that can serve as collateral, or even if you know somebody that has an asset that can serve as collateral, that's the ticket to get financing as well. So let's dive in and talk about a lot of different funding options you can get based on just having consistent cash flow. There's a lot of really cool funding options you can get for your business that are just based on you having consistent cash flow. Now, in a lot of cases, lenders are going to want to see your bank statements. They're going to review them to make sure that you have more money going in the bank account every month than going out, that you don't have a bunch of non-sufficient funds, that you have a lot of consistent and regular deposits in your bank account, you have a positive ending bank balance every single month. And if you meet those criteria, well, there's a good chance you can get approved for cash flow financing. Now, the first of which is just that. It's called cash flow financing, and you can typically get approved for as much as 12% of whatever your annual revenue is. So for example, if you do $200,000 a year in annual revenue, well, then you can get approved for about 12% of that, which is about $24,000. Now, if you go through sources like PayPal, Square, or Stripe, they will look at how you actually process or transactions through them, and they'll give you as much as 30% financing or whatever you do a year. So if you do $200,000 a month in sales through your PayPal account, they'll give you a 30% loan on that, which is about $60,000. So make sure that you're accepting your customers' payments through a PayPal, Square, or Stripe account, because those are really easy ways for you to get a small business loan. Now, something similar to cash flow financing is called merchant cash advance. And with this one, you only need to be in business about 6 months, where revenue lending, you need to be in business about 1 year. You only need about $5,000 a month in revenue, whereas cash flow financing, they want you to have about $10,000. And they're going to look at your merchant statements. They're going to want to see what you process using your credit cards from your customers, Visa card, MasterCard, for example. And you, with this type of financing, again, you can get approved for about 12% of whatever your actual annual revenue is. But what's nice about merchant cash advances are these are even easier to qualify for than cash flow financing. Now, cash flow financing and merchant cash advances, you can get approved with no collateral and even really bad credit. All you need is about 6 to 12 months in business. Now, yet another kind of financing is based on your collateral, and that opens up a lot of other unique funding options. Actually, collateral or asset-based loans open up more funding options for you than any other funding category, because there's so many things that can serve as assets that you can use as collateral to get funding. Now, what's nice about collateral-based funding is that you don't need cash flow and you don't need credit to get approved. You see, that's a nice thing about this 3C's formula. We talked about cash flow financing. If you have cash flow, you don't need to have good credit and you don't need collateral. If you have collateral, you don't need to have cash flow and you don't need to have good credit either. And these funding options work for you as a startup. So what kind of assets can serve as collateral? Well, almost any kind of business or personal asset you have can absolutely work. On the personal side, we look at stocks, bonds, 401ks, and IRAs. You can borrow as much as 100% of the value of a 401k or IRA with no tax penalties. You can borrow as much as 90% of the value of your stocks and bonds, still earn interest on the stocks and bonds, and get a low interest rate credit line or loan using the 401k, stocks, bonds, or IRAs to qualify. The nice thing is that you can get approved even if you use somebody else's stocks, bonds, IRA, and 401k as collateral. So let me give you an example. Let's say I want to go to my dad and borrow money to get my business off the ground. 75% of business owners get money from family and friends to open up their business. Well, I can have my dad just use his stocks as collateral and get a credit line against them instead of him physically liquidating those stocks and giving me cash. So not only is this an easier way for you to get money, but it's an easier way for you to get money even if you don't have the asset by using somebody else's asset as collateral to get approved. You can let your customers pay you on terms. That's called account receivables, and you can qualify for account receivable financing. You can get financing specifically for the purpose of fulfilling purchase orders that you need to fill, so you don't have to use your cash flow to fulfill those purchase orders. You can actually use a lot of other kind of assets as well. You can use equipment, and you can actually borrow against equipment that you already have or somebody else may already have. You can get equipment financing or leasing to buy or lease equipment. You can get this even as a startup business. Maybe you want to buy inventory or borrow against inventory you already have. Well, there's credit lines and loans that work for you there as well. There's a great company called Kick Further you can access at creditsuite.com/inventory, and they'll actually crowdfund the inventory that you sell online. So if you're an Amazon business and you sold $150,000 or more already on Amazon, well, then you can actually get the money you need from crowdfunding to crowdfund the inventory. Then you pay it back as you sell the items. So you can actually come out of pocket with no money to be able to stock your Amazon store and then pay back that financing as you actually sell the items. So inventory is another great asset that you can use. Maybe it's commercial real estate. Maybe it's residential real estate. Maybe it's commercial vehicles. Again, there's a lot of things that can qualify for asset and collateral-based lending. The one thing you have to really think about is what do you have in the business or personally that's an asset that could serve as collateral, and more than likely, there's a good funding option that could work for you using that type of asset to be able to qualify. So let's talk about the third C. Let's talk about good credit on the personal or business side and how that can help you get money as well. The third C is credit-based financing. And with credit-based financing, you don't need to have collateral and you don't need to have cash flow to get approved. That means even as a startup business with no bank statements, no tax returns, you're still able to get this kind of funding. Now, there's two ways you can go. First of all, let's talk about using good consumer credit to qualify. This is for a program called Credit Line Hybrid. And with Credit Line Hybrid, you can get credit lines for up to $150,000 with 0% interest rates, no doc, which means no bank statements or tax returns are needed for approval, and you could take the cash out of these credit lines. That's right. You could take the cash out of the credit lines at a 0% rate. And a lot of these credit lines report to the business credit reporting agencies. So not only can you get the money you need to start and grow your business, but you also can get the money you need to be able to build business credit at the same time. And again, you could tap into somebody else's credit instead of your own. As a matter of fact, half of our clients that secure this program, and it's one of the most popular funding programs that we see clients go with, are using somebody else's credit as a guarantor to qualify. So even if your credit's challenged, you could tap into a family member, a friend, a potential investor, their personal credit quality in order to get approved. Now, let's say you don't have cash flow, you're just starting your business. Let's say you don't have collateral. Let's say you don't have good credit, you still want a small business loan. How do you get money? Well, that is where you can use business credit. Business credit's like a catch-all. And I say, if you don't have a C, create a C. And by business credit, you can actually come in and make sure your business is fundable. We got a lot of training on our social channels that'll teach you how to do that. Then you can come in and start with small vendor accounts like Uline and Quill and Granger. There's many of them out there that then will give you credit and report that credit to the business credit reporting agencies. When you have about a handful of those accounts reporting, you can start to get like all kinds of retail credit from all kinds of retailers and stores, from Sam's Club and Costco, all the way to Amazon and Walmart, to Office Depot and Staples, to Lowe's and Home Depot. Almost every major retailer, even Nordstrom and Macy's, offer this kind of corporate credit. You can also get fleet credit for fuel, repair, and maintenance of vehicles. And then when you have about 14 accounts reporting on your business credit reports, then you can get to auto financing. You can get actual loans for cars, trucks, for fleets of vehicles, all without a personal guarantee, all without a credit check. And with 14 accounts, you can also get Visa card, MasterCards, which is what we call cash credit. So there's a lot of different ways that we just talked about that you can get a small business loan to to start and grow your business. So how do you get approved? Well, give us a call. If you give us a call at 877-600-2487, we'll get you a free business credit funding consultation. On this consultation, we'll help you pull your business credit reports with all 3 major business credit reporting agencies at no cost. They charge you $249. We give them to you for free. We do a fundability assessment to see all the things that are wrong with fundability that you need to fix to get max funding and the best terms. And we do a funding qualification. We tell you all the loans and credit lines you can qualify for right now. Let me give you a secret. A lot of people can qualify for money right now that don't think they can, and that person might be you. So make sure you give us a call for your consultation, or you can schedule online at creditsuite.com/consult, or you can email us info@creditsuite.com. And don't forget to grab our funding vault of 27 killer ways to get money for your business. You can grab that at creditsuite.com/27 ways. That's creditsuite.com/2 ways. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more training on cool ways for you to get money and to start and grow your business.